Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to talk about how to solve equations involving multiplication and division. Okay, so let me remind you a bit what um, the rules you have to remember when solving equations. So in the last video where I have introduced balancing equations, okay, in order to keep the balanced scale, you have to have the same amount on both sides. However, sometimes we have to get rid of some values which are extra on both sides, and we have to put them on another side. The important thing is that when you have an equation involving addition, you have to do the inverse of it. Okay, so the inverse of addition is subtraction. The same thing is when you have an equation involving subtraction. The inverse of subtraction, you have to do addition. Okay, so in order to cancel out some values which you need in order to solve your equation, you have to do the inverse of this. Okay, let me give you an example. For example, you have a plus 3 is equal to 4. In order to get rid of this 3, in order to cancel out this 3, I have to do subtraction. I have to do minus 3. That's what I am telling you here, okay? But to keep your equation balanced, you have to do the same thing on the right hand side, okay? And then you work out your equation. So we are left with a, which is equal to 1. Okay, so that is a simple example. Now, today I'm going to talk about equations involving multiplication and division. Okay, so if you have an equation which involves multiplication, okay, in order to get rid of a value which is multiplied, okay, you have to do the inverse of multiplication. So you have to do division. Okay, the same thing happens when you have division. In order to cancel out a value which is divided, you have to do multiplication. Okay, so these are basically the rules you have to remember when solving the equations. You have to do the inverse. Okay, so let's move on to our examples here. So the first one, we have to solve 2a is equal to 12. Now, 2a here, 2 is being multiplied to a. Okay, so here we have an invisible multiplication sign. Okay, we don't write it in algebra. So in order to get rid of this 2 here, we have to do the inverse of multiplication. Okay, the inverse of multiplication is division. So we have to divide by 2. Also, to keep our equation balanced, we have to divide by 2 here as well. Okay, so now it's like you have proper fractions. You can simplify your fraction. Okay, so 2 can be simplified by 2, which leaves us with 1 all over 1. And 12 can be simplified by 2. Okay, 12 and 2 are both in the table of 2. So divide denominator and numerator by 2. 12 division by 2 gives us 6. 2 division by 2 gives us 1. Okay, so what are we left with? We are left with 1, 1 all over 1 gives us 1, a, okay, we didn't touch the a, which is equal to 6 all over 1 gives us 6. Therefore, our value a here has a value of 6. Okay, so simple. So we had multiplication and we did the inverse of it, we did division. Let's move on to B. We have 5c is equal to 20. In order to get rid of this 5, we have to divide by 5. Okay? On both sides to keep it balanced. Okay? So now, simplify 5 with 5. They leave us with 1 all over 1. 20 division by 5. 20 division by 5 gives us 4. 5 division by 5 gives us 1. Okay, so we are left with 1 all over 1, which is 1. C is equal to 4 all over 1 gives us 4. Therefore, C here has a value of 4. Okay, so those are some simple examples involving multiplication. Now, when we come to division. Okay, so here we have r division by 2 is equal to 5. Okay, I suggest you write this equation in this form. So r all over 2 is equal to 5. Why am I doing this? I am doing this so that since we have division by 2 here, I can multiply by 2 in order to get rid of it. Okay, so since we have division, the inverse of division is times, and also multiply by 2. Now it came very easy for me so that we can simplify this 2 with this 2. Okay, so 2 division by 2 leaves us with 1. 2 division by 2 gives us 1 as well. Okay, so what are we left with? We are left with 1 all over 1, which is 1. R is equal to 5 times 2, which is 10. Okay, so the value of R here was 10. You can check your answer by substituting this 10 with this R. Okay, so you have 10 division by 2 gives us 5. So that is correct. Last example here, y division by 3 is equal to 4. Let me write it in fraction form so it will be easy to simplify. In order to get rid of this division by 3, I multiply by 3 both sides to keep the equation balanced and then simplify. So this gives us 1, 3 division by 3 gives us 1. Okay, so we are left with 1y, which is equal to 4 times 3, 12. Therefore, the value of y here was 12. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.